How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. The Bulls and Bears are battling right now. It's crazy the amount of buying pressure, selling pressure that's going on right now. I want to walk you through who's buying and who's selling because we did get some more announcements of people buying. Actually, the world's largest pension fund is thinking about buying Bitcoin. I want to walk you through that along with who's actually selling because we have seen a bit of a drop in Bitcoin's price. As you can see here, we have seen a drop. If we pull up the HG algo indicator, we're still technically in bullish momentum on the daily, but if we continue down, it might flip into bearish territory. So I want to go through this, talk about what's happening. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos like this as soon as I make them. There's going to be a link to Margex underneath the video as well in case you want to trade this market. I think low leverage, especially, is good in times like this. If you want to get a little bit higher return on your capital, I have about 5 long-term low leverage plays open right now, like low leverage trades open, and they've done quite well. Even with this recent dip, most of them are still up hundreds of percents. Now, of course, this isn't right for everyone. You can also go higher leverage. You can go short. You can trade different cryptocurrencies outside of Bitcoin. It's not just Bitcoin. You can trade a bunch of meme coins. You can trade a bunch of layer ones. So you can check this out underneath the video. When you deposit, there is a deposit bonus that can be used towards fees. Now, as you can see here, we do have a bit of a dip. 73,700, now down to 62,700. I saw on some exchanges, it actually went lower. I think it was BitMEX, maybe, that had someone sell 400 Bitcoin and it dropped the price to under $10,000, like just flash wick down and back up. Those don't last very long. You really have to have orders set because otherwise people will buy that arbitrage opportunity. But something went wrong with their system and it like crashed the price down real fast and then came right back up. But this is a bit of a dip for some people, right? We have more money in crypto than ever before, most of us, because of the fact that it's gone up. So this, 15% dip is felt by a lot of people. It is showing up as a major pain point. Now, some people are selling. For example, we got the news yesterday, and I covered this in my last video, so I won't spend much time on it. GBTC, their volume was 867 million yesterday. So buying and selling back and forth, 867 million. But their outflows were about 640 million. So they had a massive amount of selling. That means that they had about 750 million in selling and 115 million or so in buying for the day. That's crazy, a crazy amount. That's a record day for selling. IBIT had a volume of 1.72, and I'll show you how much they bought here in a second, how much BlackRock bought. But as you can tell from the price going down, there are probably going to be bears that are coming out right now. They're waving their winner flag. I know some short sellers were talking about how much money they made in when you look at their trades. Like they should have still lost a lot of money because they started shorting in the 30s, and then all the way up to 70, and then we're down a little bit since then. Peter Schiff says, "Hodlers, do you remember how bullish you all were in November 2021 when Bitcoin traded at 69K? I do. How many of you still have your laser eyes? A year later, Bitcoin traded below 16K, almost 80% lower. Given that most are even more bullish now, an even bigger crash likely lies ahead." Obviously, Peter Schiff does not like Bitcoin. He does not like crypto. I do think this is interesting, though, his thought process. Because people were bullish in November 2021 when we were 3.5 times the old all-time high, he thinks that we could have a bigger crash now because more people are bullish. Usually when a lot of people are bullish, there's less of a chance of crashing. I understand if we were at maybe $200,000, $180,000 Bitcoin, $300,000 Bitcoin, maybe being bearish, right? Maybe thinking, okay, this is maybe the last pullback and maybe I want to take profits off the table. But we just barely hit all-time highs. We have the Bitcoin halving in a month. Typically, we do see some kind of dip, cool-off period around the halving or just after the halving. And this is completely normal. We see 20% dips, 30% dips in bull markets all the time, and then we continue to rally. So I think this is kind of funny that he's coming out. Obviously, this is going to continue to happen. He's going to talk about how we're going to have a big dip when we're at 80,000, then 100,000, 120,000, 150,000. He recently said, yeah, in hindsight, he wishes he would have bought Bitcoin. I think he's still going to feel like he wished he had bought Bitcoin at 60,000, 65,000, because obviously he's been around a long time. Now, there are some entities buying. The fact is, at the end of the day, though, there are more people selling than buying. That's how it works. We have BlackRock numbers. 318 was trading day 46 since the ETFs launched, and BlackRock bought more Bitcoin than the daily supply every single day. They bought a lot of Bitcoin every single day. They haven't had one net outflow day. The total for the day was negative 154 million between all the ETFs yesterday, but BlackRock bought another 451 million. Now, this is the big narrative. Bitcoin going from weak hands to strong hands. BlackRock continues to buy. They don't sell. Of course, they're not the ones actually doing it. It's their clients. But they continue to get their clients to buy more and more. Some obviously sell a little bit. But overall, net inflows are consistent every single day. And GBTC continues to dump Bitcoin every single day. People want to get out of GBTC. And eventually these will flip where BlackRock moves above GBTC. This is probably going to happen before the halving even, which really will indicate, okay, BlackRock is the new player. Obviously, a lot of people already think they are the new player, but they're the new player to watch. They're the new player that holds the most Bitcoin. GBTC is a bit of a relic at that point, and they don't really matter. That's what's going to happen. Now, Michael Saylor is also buying. MicroStrategy has acquired an additional 9,245 Bitcoin for about $623 million using the proceeds from their convertible notes and excess cash. I believe they were going to raise about 500 million and they bought 623. So I'm guessing they had an oversized offering or they had a lot of demand for it. So I'm guessing they were oversubscribed. They were able to raise maybe 600 million. They had 23 million of excess cash. Now they bought at $67,400 per Bitcoin. I was thinking maybe they would be able to buy last night when we saw a bit of a dip or this morning, but they did buy right before that. MSTR now hodls 214,246 Bitcoin acquired for about 7.5 billion at an average price of 35,160 per Bitcoin. So again, brilliant strategy. And of course, yeah, the price has dipped a little bit since they bought, but they got this for under a 1% interest rate. This is just nuts, and it's unsecured. If I told you that you could have an unsecured loan at 1% interest, which means, if you go belly up, if your business goes belly up, you don't have to repay it, right? That would be insanely attractive to most people, right? I would take that. I would take that today. So this is genius. He's going to continue to do this, continue to buy more and more Bitcoin, which forces up the price, which causes the value of his company to go up, which allows him to get more debt at a cheaper rate, which allows him to buy more Bitcoin, and so on. The world's largest pension fund is also exploring diversification into Bitcoin. Now, that is the title. When you go into this, it's not quite as bullish. So Japan's government pension investment fund is launching a 5-year research plan to explore innovative methods to diversify investments with an emphasis on sustainability and risk management. So they're taking a 5-year research approach. I mean, think about how long that is. 5 years. Imagine if they started that back in 2019 when Bitcoin was $3,000. Now they're just finishing it up now. That would be crazy. We might be at 10x the price for Bitcoin, 20x the price for Bitcoin at that time. So who knows what's going to happen there. But they say that they're going to research and learn more information about assets the company considers illiquid and doesn't hold, such as cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, precious metals like gold, and other assets, the announcement notes. Now, Bitcoin does seem like it would be a good asset for them because their primary investment strategy is to diversify by asset class, region, and time frame. While market prices may fluctuate in the short term, GPIF will take full advantage of their long-term investment horizon to achieve investment returns in a more stable and efficient manner. Now, Bitcoin's not super stable, but it is a very long-term investment asset. When you think about anything that's been around for 15 years or less, it's a relatively new asset. It's a new asset class altogether, which is kind of crazy that a new asset class has come to the market in the last 15 years. But it's going to have a lot of volatility. But if you look at any 4 or 5 year time frame, like this is the best asset to hold. It consistently beats everything else out. So if you just have a 5, 10, 15 year time frame, this is probably going to trounce every other asset out there. And they have a lot of money, a lot of AUM, 1.54 trillion in AUM as of December 2023, the world's largest pension fund. So this would be a massive thing if they start buying up Bitcoin, and I would not be surprised if they started to do this. Let me know your thoughts though underneath the video. Are you buying this Bitcoin dip? I think a lot of people, when we were at 73, 74, would have said, yeah, I would love some Bitcoin. It's in the low 60s again. And keep in mind, this is just going back 2 weeks, 3 weeks in price. This is not crazy. This would be a higher low when you compare it to like this low here where we crashed down to 59,000. Of course, we have had some other lows in the meantime. Some people will also probably point out that this looks kind of like a head and shoulders, but we'll have to see what happens. I think this is some actually good price action. This is good for the market in the long term because it does weed out some of the weak hands, even whether it's GBTC or people like you and me that maybe are weak-handed, that don't really want to hold when we hit 100,000, 150,000. It's better to shake them out now than to have a massive crash at 100, 150. And it's just healthy for the market in general. It does seem like we're bouncing off of this prior resistance level as well. So it'll be interesting to see what the price action does. I'll continue to update you. I really appreciate you watching. Again, you can check out the links to MargX underneath the video. I also have some other links to other exchanges. If you want to try something else out, I have links to Blowfin. I really like Blowfin. CoinW. I like CoinW. They also allow futures and spot trading over at CoinW. All three of those are non-KYC. And there's also a link to BYDFI. I believe they're actually non-KYC as well. And I've been trying them out a little bit more recently. Did a video for them recently as well where I kind of explore the platform. So definitely check out all those links. I appreciate it. Check out HGAlgo too if you're interested in that. And I'll see you in the next video.